stop, Nobia.
Oh, welcome to Two Girls, One Stylist Color Correction Edition Part 2. Let's get started. Previously, in part 1, here's my clients before. She had black and red box dye in her hair and wanted to go for a natural mocha balayage. And yeah, I think we did it. I think we pulled it off. Here's her selfie that she sent me. I think she looks gorgeous. Don't you guys agree? So that was client number 1. Client number 2, here's her before. She's like a level 4-5 root. And we are not doing platinum blonde anymore. We are changing it up. And in the last video, I did not tell you what I was doing, but we were bumping the base. If you want to see the formula and what I used for both client 1 and 2, make sure to go back to my other video and check that out, and then come back to this one. Now that we're all caught up, this is what my client ended up with that first formula that we did to bump up her roots as much as we possibly could. Now we're about to get started with the rest of her color correction. So we are using what I have left of my Chroma ID yellow, like direct color. It's a direct color as well as like a bonding mask. It's fantastic. This stuff is incredible. I love it for this type of color correction specifically. It's very thick, so I did add some water to it and mix it around so it's a little bit like this like mac and cheese kind of looking bowl of just goo. It's super gross looking, but it's super good for the hair. It has bond builders in it and it has super, super yellow pigments in it. And this is what we're using to fill my client's hair to begin with because we are going darker today. Now, I do want to spend a couple minutes here talking about the importance of yellow when you are doing a fill. I feel like a lot of people, when they're going for a darker color, especially if they're going for a copper tone, like what we're doing today with my client, surprise, surprise, we're going to copper. Then I find a lot of people really prioritize the orange and the red undertones and forget about how important yellow is for a fill when you're doing something like this. And the problem I find with almost every color line that I've ever worked with is that the yellow isn't yellow. Yellow is gold in their color lines. And what I love about Schwarzkopf, but also kind of hate, is that their gold is a champagne gold and it's not a yellow gold. It's like a very cool, soft, beigey gold, which is super, super beautiful for 99.9% of services that I'm going to be doing with it because it's going to be giving a beautiful champagne blonde color. But I need straight up yellow pigment. And so that's why I love using this product because I find that these bonders are great for filling in the hair and holding on to other toners that you're going to layer on top of them. And I find that sometimes toners just get spat out again and again and again. So I put on one of these if I have it in the color that I need to fill with, and that holds on to everything else that I'm about to put in. And now what I love about yellow is that yellow is vibrancy, yellow is shine, yellow is health, yellow is an underlying fill that provides the fullness to your color in the future. Have you ever done a fill on a client and realized that their hair looks kind of hollow at the end? That's probably because you put in some red or some orange, but you didn't put in any yellow. And again, gold, champagne, beige, those are not gonna do the job. And even if you use like one of those solid kickers, I just find that it's not yellow enough. So again, this is why I love this product. I'm not sponsored or anything like that in this video for this, but this is just a great product. And I do need to get some more of it because I used all of it on my client last night. And I actually mixed up a little bit of this into a jar with some other orange color and some extra conditioner and mask that I had for her to take home to use as a replenishing vibrancy source for her hair as her hair fades. Because if you know anything about platinum blonde is that it spits out color like nobody's business. This is going to be spitting out everything as much as it can because like platinum blonde hair is an empty strand essentially. So we're trying to refill it with color molecules that are large enough and sticky enough to hold on to other color molecules. So this is why we're starting with yellow. And this product, being the miracle product that it is the reason why we were able to get such a shiny, beautiful, healthy looking copper at the end of this. Spoiler alert, it worked really well and she loved her hair. So I'm about to go through all my formulations, why I did them, and why I didn't do other things. And you guys are going to see how we take someone from platinum blonde to copper. Also, let's just have a moment of silence for how gorgeous this color would have been if she decided to keep it. I'm obsessed. I actually do want a client who wants bright yellow hair. This is serving Lady Gaga. I'm loving it. So I'm showing you guys the rinse offs because I do want to show you guys how much color ends up rinsing out in the sink here with something like this. She started with something that's so vibrant, and then it ends up being more of a pastel-y kind of banana yellow in through the ends, which you can tell are the most porous. We are rinsing with a lukewarm temperature here. And yeah, this is just important for everybody to see how much color actually rinses out with each rinse, because again, that blonde strand just wants to spit everything out. And now we're going to be putting in our first toner formula. And this is something that, again, I'm going to expect about half of the color to drop out, but this is not the only color we're doing today. We're doing several colorings over. So let's get into this formula. We have 1.5 ounces of 7-77, which is a level 7 copper extra, plus a 1/2 ounce of 8-0, which is a level 8, and it's got a natural, so it's like a brown base, and 1/2 ounce of 9-7, which is level 9 copper. We've mixed this all together with 6 volume lotion. We are not using a single drip or drop of ash tones here. We are only loading her hair with warmth. And that's going to be super important because warm colors have bigger molecules. They hold on to the hair a little bit easier. Even if I wanted to have a slightly cooler result at the end, I'd still be putting in warmth in here just because this is what's going to make any other toner stick. Now, this color here is ideally the color we do want her to be at, is this beautiful level 8 natural copper. It looks really beautiful on her skin tone, and she has blue eyes, and it just makes them pop. And you can tell when a color is going to be really good when it's processing and it just works really great on their skin tone. But then there's that secret hairdresser part of you that knows half of that's going to rinse out in the sink once it's done processing. And you're either going to have to do it again or utilize more pigments or something stronger. So today we're using several lines here. This is with the Schwarzkopf Vibrance line. This is just their toner line. Later on, I'm going to be using something else with Schwarzkopf, and I'm going to be committing a little tiny bit of color incest, which is crossing lines, crossing sister lines. I'm going to be using a permanent and mixing in a semi-permanent, demi-permanent type of toner in with my permanent. And it's totally against the rules for hairdressing, but I don't care. I am here to mess around and find out what happens. Here is a quick glimpse of my back bar, my color lab, and the mess I've made of it with my 2 color corrections going on at the same time. And this wasn't even all of it. My stylists have been helping me clean up all day as I've been going, and this is still what's left for me at the end. Now that she's processed about 20 minutes, it is time to rinse her. And again, as you're seeing, this is a beautiful gold color, but this is not what's going to be staying. And when you look at the ends of the hair as it's processing, you can kind of tell when something's going to stick and when something's not going to stick. So don't be surprised if you're, taking someone from light to dark for the first time. They're going to need to come back for several appointments. When I went from blonde to brunette, I colored my hair, I think 7 times before color started really sticking in there. So don't be upset with yourself or anything. This is just the nature of hair. When you blast open that cuticle and eat the entire cortex away, so there's nothing left in this hair, it's an empty straw and you have to refill it. And this takes time, and it takes, sealing down to the cuticle between layers of color. You have to layer it and layer it and layer it on itself again and again and again. But this is just part of the process. This is part of the science with it. And up next is a clip that I felt like I had to show you guys. It's just too good to keep to myself.
Oh my god. I'm glad that you said you kind of love it, because when I heard you scream, "Oh my god, who is she?" That is so funny. That is such a vibe. But
No. God, stop. No, yeah.
Okay, that's a happy ha, right? Okay,
Yeah,
we're starting
yeah,
to feel it.
Yeah.
We're seeing the vision.
Yeah.
Good, okay.
Yeah.
As we all know, it's extremely hard for a blonde client to come to an acceptance of going to a different color in the first place. But I find that having a client watch the process of their color correction at every step of the way helps them to digest this new color a lot easier. So as you can see here, look at what I mean by like a hollowness in the color. You can see that yellow underneath, which is providing a lot of shine to her hair, which gives it this like really healthy appearance. But at the top there, you can see it's almost peachy, and then her bright orange roots that we lifted from her natural have a little bit of a contrast there. So we definitely need to reapply another color. We need to get some more solid color in there. But this yellow undertone from that mask really is doing its job. It's adding a lot of shine and health to the hair. So now it's time for us to put in more color into her hair. Again, layering on layering on layering. And the client is more and more and more comfortable with every single step, which is why it's important to show them if you can. This is what it looks like brushed out, and you can, yeah, definitely see that that root is still kind of like a hot root, but that root color is going to be closer to what we're looking for versus it's almost like a rose gold peach tone in the top few inches there. So now what we have is we have our 9-00 and our 7-7 in color 10, and we have our 0-55 kicker, which is a gold kicker. And this is the part where it kind of frustrates me a little bit with this champagne tone. Because champagne is a cool gold and 0-55 I don't really find as a yellow, even though it's gold, it's not a yellow gold, it's a cool gold. It kind of neutralizes this color into something that I don't want to be seeing. So at the beginning here, you can see that she's got this little bit of a copper tone. We're getting closer to what we want. And as I'm applying this to her roots, we're just trying to fill in her hair with more and more pigment. And this formula should be closer to what it is that she wants. But this 0-55 kicker that I have in here is kind of taking over and turning us from a copper into more of a beige formula through the ends. And I'm so not happy with that. So because this is a color 10, it processes in about 10 minutes. It's a double pigmented line, and it's usually meant for clients who have super resistant grays or need a really quick root touch up. I do love this line. It has a lot of power to it, and it is progressively darkening the hair if you leave it on for longer, which I was okay with because I mix it to a level 8. If we go down to a level 7, just because we need to get extra color in there, my client knows that going a smidgen darker than her expected gold color can actually work in her favor because how much the blonde is going to want to drop out color and fade and lighten over time. So she's okay with that. We have explained that to her. But as I'm applying this color and combing it through, I'm seeing it take us from a beautiful copper strawberry blonde to more of a beige and a sandy blonde. And I'm so not down for that. That's not what we wanted. So what I had to do was take what was left in the bowl. And I'm so sorry, you guys. I do not have my mixing ratios. However, I'm pretty sure I used close to half of the formula of the level 7-7 and half of the formula, the 900. And I did half and half because I wanted the 00 to fill in her hair and balance it and hold in that 7-7, which is a 7 copper. And I wanted to hold it in there and not neutralize it, dilute it a little bit so we're not as dark as a true level 7 copper. But I do think that the culprit here for neutralizing it out a little bit is that beige kicker, which I find is great for filling and holding in color, but not super great if you want something super coppery. So what I did here was add something else into the bowl and go over all of this once I applied this. I had let it sit for 10 minutes. It wasn't doing what I wanted. I thought, let's let this progressive color get deeper and darker into here. And what I'm going to do is commit a little bit of color line incest, as I mentioned earlier, where you mix sister lines because color 10 doesn't have a copper kicker. But Vibrance does, and Vibrance is their toning / demi-permanent line. So what I did was I added a ton of it, like 30 grams of 0-77 and 6 volume into this mixture. and I reapplied everywhere. And I let this sit on for 15 to 20 minutes. And as you can see, as it hits her hair, it just adds in that huge punch of copper, which is what we want. At this point, I don't feel like we can go too copper because we're going to be losing so much pigment with every wash. Now, if you're wondering about how to take care of something like this, it just comes down to using color safe products, lots of moisture, not too much protein or bonders. It's all about sealing your cuticle and having it close over that color. And then you're going to need to do probably a monthly toner on here to refresh and refill that hair that has dropped out that previous color. So what my client is doing is, you know, she loved her platinum blonde. She wants an option to go back to platinum blonde down the road if she's not feeling this copper after a year or so. But we couldn't do that with a dark brown. And she loves the idea of copper and keeping her to a level 8, especially because we could get this root touch-up color to lift her up so light. This means that her future appointments are so much easier than the bleach route. Because as you guys saw earlier, she was like a level 4-5. And her bleach route appointment takes us about 4 hours, and she's here every 5 weeks. And she just wants something a little easier, a little lower maintenance. So with a root color like this, we can be a little less strict with our time frame. We can do 6 to 8 weeks. And what we're going to do is apply that root color each time, and then probably just a toner everywhere for the first few appointments just to re-glaze over, refresh those ends with some vibrancy and to just blend the whole thing together. And the formulation that I used earlier, which was L44 and Pastella Fire and 30 volume in the Royal, that's just enough to lift her and reveal her underlying pigment, which is super orange, which is exactly what we want. But we are going to be tweaking her formula, probably adding a little bit of a natural in there and a little bit more copper in there, probably in a level 7, just so that we have something that lifts her to the desired outcome for her root. And so in general, this is just going to require a little bit of patience from both her and me to figure out exactly what is her perfect root touch-up formula, so we don't have to do a root lift and a glaze over top in the future. We just have a root lift only formula. But luckily we lift her up to the level that we want, and that was the most important thing here with our root formula for today. So it's just easy to tweak it from here. So I'm going to show you guys the ends here of her hair and how they're holding on to color and how you can see if they're holding on well or not. I'm scraping the color away, and the desired color is still being left in these strands. Ignore my gross dirty nails, they've been stained from color. And this is her final result. I didn't film me doing anything else between that step and this step. It was just washing the hair, blow drying, and styling it. But look at how beautiful and natural this looks on her. Her roots blend in so nicely here with the rest of it. And she's got this almost natural balayage effect. And as you guys can see right here, this is what porosity looks like on platinum blonde hair. We've got higher porosity at the ends here, which are kicking out some of that color, but it's making it a really beautiful, soft strawberry blonde ginger tone. And it's slowly going up higher and higher towards her root with a little bit more vibrancy and pigment. And this is just so spot on for the photo she showed me for her desired outcome, and she was so over the moon with this color. I was super happy with it as well. I know I'm just showing the same clip again and again and again of what it was that we did. It's not the same clip, it's different clips. I took 1,000 photos of this, but I'm very happy with this result. This color held in pretty well here. I did tell her to wait 3 days before her first wash so that her hair can get a little oily and the cuticle can seal up over the color a little bit more. And there's her little color bottle on the desk there of the take-home refresher for her ends and her mids. And yeah, anyways, that is the second color correction of my 2 girls, 1 stylist video. I hope you guys liked that one. I hope it was worth the wait. I know it was a little bit different than my usual videos. A little bit of a different vibe too, but you know what? I think some of you guys like that. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below or like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that when I drop future videos, you will be alerted and you guys can be the first ones to view these like highly anticipated color correction videos. Anyways, have a great evening, you guys, and I'll see you at the next one.